Hi YouTubers, Roxanne here from Rox's Cards and Crafts, admin for Cricket Connect and Cricket Expression Facebook groups. I'll leave a link below for those two groups. So I'm following on today and we're going to create our first layout using the grid that I showed you in tutorial number 46. And this is with Design Space. The main thing that I want to teach you about doing layouts in Design Space opposed to cutting dies. With cutting dies, they're measured perfectly for the system that they're sold with. When doing your own, you have to make your cutouts fit perfectly to your system as well. Two completely different systems. So this is a digital one. What I'm trying to say is, so we've got 1 inch squares that I show you how to make in number 46. In this layout, I've got 1 inches. I've got 3x3 photos, so I've got 4 of those. I've got some 1 inches there with a title, some cutouts from images, and I'll show you how to do all these. But so the secret, so you don't see the, let me change these. They're not supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be a pen. Like that. So when these are drawn onto your 12 by 12 inch cardstock that you'll be using, which is that one around there, you don't want, so they measure 1 inch. So we've got 101 inch tiles that I showed you. Now over here, we're cutting out, yes, we're cutting out 1 inch squares, but they are slightly bigger so that they overlap ever so slightly on this square and any other measurements that you do. So I'm going to show you, I want to concentrate more on that today, and you'll be able to see from this picture how to put it all together. So I've just selected 4 photos of my granddaughter, put a title there, 2024, selected some really lovely papers, and I've used all scraps, which I'm proud of, except for the 12 by 12 cardstock. I've even cut out the back of that green one of a 10 inch square that I've just to save cardstock. I never used to do that, but I do it now. And you just have to let your photo speak to you as to what colours that you will end up using for that particular layout. This lovely paper here I got from Creative Fabrica. It's a lovely alcohol ink look, and the rest are just nice little pieces of paper. You could use lovely patterns of paper all around that, or you could use plain if you wanted to. Choice is yours. So let me move on to another vacant page. So what you need to do is start a new page, but go into my stuff, so my projects, and select your 11.5 by 11.5 grid and go customize. So when you finish doing a new design, you're then going to save it as something else. Don't just click save. I'll show you at the end. So this says my grid, and I've probably named it like that so that I can share it on Design Space for you. But we're going to do a few things with this, okay? So in the original tutorial, I said for you to make this outside line, this one here, I told you to make it a pen and change the colour. But in actual fact, what I did is I made it a basic shape. So that's your 1-inch grids. I'm going to make that a basic cut. What you could do there is just give it another colour so that you can see, and arrange that to the back. So then that cuts on 11.5 by 11.5. They're both attached. So what will happen is it will draw first, then it will cut around it, and then what you will do is select another shape, which is going to be your 12 by 12. Give that a pretty colour, send that to the back, select them all, align, centre. So now we've started the basis of a page. So the blue bit with the 1-inch grid is that purple bit in the picture there, and the green one is your 12 by 12. And if you wanted, what I did do is I did cut the back out of the 12 by 12. And let me hide the grid for a minute, and that. All you need to do is select another shape, measure that at about 10 inches, so 10 by 10. So centre that, align, centre, and then cut it out. So this is the very back 12 by 12. The only problem there is when you go to make it, it will say that it's too large. And that's because we can't do this 12 by 12. The workaround to that is to stick that at a position of 0 and then 0. See how responsive Design Space is. Select another shape, make that really, really small. So this is your hidden dot. Make that hidden dot at 0.25 by 0.25. Okay, we've already centered this. We'll select the green one, and the other one, which is that one. So you can rename your that anchor point. What this is going to do is it's going to leave it exactly where you want it to cut. So when you put a 12 by 12 piece of paper, that black part will cut out. But if you didn't have this secret dot positioned at the 0.25 mark, which is where it will cut anyway, at the 11.5 mark, I don't want to confuse you, so just follow me. So I'm going to select that and that, and I'm just going to go Alt A to attach, because I have something interfering with me getting to that. So then you're going to hide the 12 by 12. This is attached. So when you go to make it, we'll go down there. Okay, that will cut perfectly where you want it. So you will place your 12 by 12 cardstock onto your mat, and it will cut that piece out for you so you're not wasting all that cardstock. I know it's such a long-winded way of getting to the point. It's a bit hard when you're showing what you mean, and my videoing software is interfering with my things down the bottom. So I'm going to go back. Okay. So you can, I wonder if yes, you can rename that. So we're going to rename that so you know it, you can get it out of the way. So this is, we'll just call it the cardstock cutaway. I just want to put that, so there's your 12 by 12. You can rename that 12 by 12, which is got that red mark there, so it's got to be hidden. This is purely for visual. Okay, let's bring in our grid. We don't need them sitting at the 0, 0 mark anymore. Do want them to be aligned and centered, and we're ready to start. So what I'm going to do is just start with the 1 inch squares and explain to you they need to be a little bit more. So very, very easy. Go to your square, select your square, and rather it being an inch, I want you to put in 1.02. To show what I mean, if I put that, say, as a guide, I'm going to use my arrows to get it, because we don't have a snap to in Design Space. So just take the time and you'll see that it will cover the pen mark. Now you may be thinking, say if I duplicated that and put it next to another one, that it's going to be eating away at the 1/8 space in between. It does look like it is doing that in the program itself on the computer, but when you actually cut them out, it's very, very, very minute. This is all we need, is a minute or a slither over that pencil mark. So it's not really eating into that 1/8 of a gap in between at all. So you would, let's put that back to basic. Go ahead and just copy 10 across. So go and take your time and position them. Look, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if they're straight or not, just as long as they're sized at 108. So I'm not going to go. You can do it if you want to have the visualization, and that's what you want when you're designing your own layouts in Design Space. Okay, I want you to select all of these guys. This is if you want to be visual. Oopsie. All right, and let's align them. Let's align them to the top. They're all lovely to go. Like I said, don't worry about the spacing, the distance. What you can do though is change the colours. Not that colour blue. We'll go yellow. Red. And this is just for visual. As I said, it's all for visual. What do we want? Purple. So what I should have done. So you're going to go red, yellow, red, purple, yellow, red, purple, okay? So you'll start off with those. They're all the same size. Doesn't matter about getting them all neat and tidy, because you'll do that when you glue it after you've cut it out. This is for cutting it out. So we need 12 of each. So we've got 4 yellow already. So we just need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 3, so we need 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. 9. And also 9 of the purples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what that's doing is, when you go to make it, so I have to hide the 12 by 12 because it's too big. So you go to make it, and then you can cut out your red, your yellow, and your purple. All right, so let's go back, and you can take the time and put them in place. I'll go off and do that now. Okay, so I've gone off and I've made them all look pretty. In this one, the red matches up with the red, but on my physical page for some reason it doesn't, but I don't think anyone's going to mind. Next off, I have this. Let me give you a look. So next off, what we've got is, see those pencil marks? Okay, so we've got the blue, which is your photo frame. So that's 1, 2, 3 inches plus 2 and 1/8. All right, so that's going to measure. Let me get a shape for you. So that's going to measure up there in your size. It's going to, so what I do is I count the 3, 1, 2, 3. So I put 3, then you dot. So you've got 2/8. Now 2/8 of an inch will be 0.25. So you need to go 0.25, but we still need to add on that extra 2 at the end. So it's going to be 3, 1, 2, 3 plus 2/8 plus another 2, which is 3.27. Easy. You have to click off for it to change size for some reason. Okay, so let me just reduce that again, and that goes over those 3. So just use your arrows to put it over so you don't see anything. Okay, and pick your color. Let's just keep it black, because that's going to be your photo mat. So if you want, come over here and rename it photo mat. Then we want 3 more of those. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to select them and put them in where they belong. So it's always good to do the bigger squares first. And as you're going along and cutting them, this is what I did. As I went along and cut them, I just changed the colour for visual. So you can change the colour, you can change that to photo mat, you can change the colour to whatever you want so that it's cutting differently from, you know, when you go to make it, you don't want everything on the same page. So I just change colours and I just put a different colour on my mat and let it cut away. I've been doing this a bit longer, so I'm quite used to it. I think if I had to do a whole tutorial on how I use it, you'd get confused. So then we'll do the title. So we've got 2 titles there. So let's just keep going the same theme as 2024. Go to your text tool. Now, what I did here, because it's getting cut away, I always put stencil. Given that you are using subscription in Design Space, if not, go to the system, go and find a stencil font and just use that. So I'm just going to put 2024. Let's come over here, double click 2024. What I do is I resize it before I pull it apart, and look, the text is doing that again. Come on, Design Space. And this is a brand new computer, Windows 11, and the text box is back doing that again. Whatever. Alrighty. So that's sized. I just want some more squares. So you can do one or 2 things. Go and select a shape, resize it, you've got it, or just pick one of these and duplicate it. It's already done for you. We are going to highlight the text. It is what it is. It's showing down there. Just don't worry about it. Just go to advanced and ungroup letters. It should do it. Oh my gosh. Let's make sure they've all been brought forward. Arrange. Oh, the text is throwing me. And then we want another 3 of those. Again, depending on what colour you want, I'll just leave it at purple for now. But just remember, if you go make it, it will cut it out the same pattern paper. So if you want it to be just a plain colour that I've done there, which matched her little singlet, then just go and change the colour. We'll just change it to a different purple. I still wanted them to be arrange. I'll send those to the back. So bring in your 24. Highlight. So we've just placed all of them now. We're going to do one at a time. You can exclude them all together if you wanted to, but it's just a pain in the bum. Sorry, it's just a Peter because it groups them, but you can do it one at a time. What you need to do then is center all these guys, then exclude. So put him up there. Select, align, center. So in these 2 holes, I'm just going to select a red one. Oh, I need 2 of those. So that will match your pattern paper, whatever you want it to be. You can. I did put a little flower in that one, but I decided against it and I just put my pattern paper. That lovely alcohol ink paper is what I put there. Okay. The next one we have is a 1, 2. So we bring over the square. It's going to go up here. So you've got to go 2 point. You've got 1/8, which is 0.125 plus another 0.2. So it's 2.127. This one you need to unlock, and the height will be 1, 2, 3. So the height will be 3 point, and we have so 1, 2, 3 and 2/8 plus another 2. So 3.27. You get used to it. I do have a table for fractions to decimals. It's very, very handy for 1/8. You can get it on the Cricket Expression group. Okay, so that's there. So we need 2 of those. That may be the red because I think I used the alcohol ink behind the cutout, and this is the backing. So let's just give it a red, duplicate and stick the other one down there. And then you've got 4 by 4 left, so it's going to be 4 plus 1/8 by 4 plus 1/8, which is, let me do this for you. Sorry, 2, I meant to be 2 and 1/8, which is 2.125 plus that extra bit to overlap the pen mark. So it's going to be 2.127. Where did you go? Let's go back. So 2.127. There we go. And if they're all the same size, they will be nice and straight along there and down there, okay? And then the last one is the 1, 2, 3. Still, and it's at 1 inch, but so the width, so the height is 1 inch, but you still have to add that 0.02. So it is going to be 3 inches and 2/8. So let's do the height first. 1.02 for that little bit over. And then 1, 2, 3 and 2/8 plus the 0.2. So 1, 2, 3. We're going into the width. 3.257. Unlock. Go back. Forgot to unlock. Go back. Okay. Unlock. And your width is 3.27. Duplicate. Now that is the backing. So we need to duplicate another one to put on top. Let's make this, what colour was it? Let's make it that nice little colour. So do another one. So that's going to go on top, and this is where you're going to cut that design out. And let's do the same for the square. We need to duplicate that square and give that a colour, and that's that colour that goes down there. So let's make it a blue. This red is the back as well, so we'll make it the black. Make that the black, because there's two bits in there. There's your background for your cutout, okay, which is represents the black. You can make it whatever colour you want. If you want it to match that colour for visual sake, then you can go ahead and do it. But then you've got the top colour, so we need to make a duplicate, change colour to blue, okay, and then add another one and put it there. So that's all that done. All we have left to do is select the ferns and the flowers, and that's all there is to it. For the fern, put in this number, which is hashtag M505BED6A, all uppercase. All right, we're going to enter that. Enter. And select this fern and add it to canvas. There it is down there. Just resize it. You want it fairly big, but leave a bit of space. It's got a nice curve in it already. All right, so select that and the blue and place that in the center. Grab your fern and make a duplicate. Bring it up to the top and then flip it. Select, then select the blue, align and center. And while you've got that, I want you to exclude it. And see how you've got the black bit behind. So you can start making this any color you want to match your paper, okay? So the fern and the blue, and exclude. For the flower images, put in flowers, which may come up, but you might have to go looking for it a bit. So the best way to do that is to put in hashtag. Put your caps lock on. We need to go M505 AEDF0, and then enter. Select those and put them onto your canvas. Once again, resize. And I've chosen these ones because it's a stencil look. I think I've moved that around somehow. There we go. Doesn't really matter. You can have it any which way you want. I'm going to select the blue, align and center, and then exclude. So now we've got that one, and I did put those all the same colour. And then all that's left to do now is this line. I think I put like line with flowers. Let's just go hashtag M 4E 060973 and enter. Select that, put it onto the canvas and resize that. You don't want too much of a busy area here if you've got pattern paper. I think in my mind's eye, this all works for me. If you want to go off and find something else, that's fine, obviously. I'd love to see your projects when it's done. So we'll do that. It's two things you can do, and we'll do it that way. Let's get rid of this. Oopsie, wrong one. Delete and delete. So we're going to do this one. Select the purple as well, if I can. Yep. I'm going to align it to the center, and we're going to exclude. And then we're going to duplicate. Saves me doing two. And we're going to put that there. What colour have we got underneath? We've got the green again. So we can put that into the red. This red will represent, as I said, whatever colour you choose to use underneath it. Hopefully you know how to do that. So what's going to happen is, so that's done. I'm just going to get rid of this. So this is done. So what's going to happen is you're going to go to make it, and everything that you've got red will cut out. Everything that's black. If you don't want that to be that colour, because you've got too many things on there, like let's see the red. So that might be the green alcohol ink, and they're all the backgrounds. So you know the reds are all the backgrounds, and they're going to be the same colour as whatever pattern paper you used. And that worked on mine with the alcohol ink background. So your yellows are just going to be by themselves. That's your grid that you're going to... It's got no pen on it, so I'll go back to that. Alright, I just found my grid, and it's actually on, make sure you check the size, 11.125, but I've actually got it on basic cut, so that needs to be on pen. Alright, and the blue is on basic cut, which is fine, and then it may have been because I attached them. Let's have a look. I'm just going to go... Alt A. Now let me have a look. See. Okay. I had to do a bit of moving around because it's difficult in design space. So my grid had changed. The actual drawing of the squares had changed to basic cut, which I did not want. So I had to check that they were, and they're not even aligned. So I'm going to have to go in, detach them again. Just want to go in and align them to the center. Okay. So my blue is at basic cut, and the grid wow, so it doesn't 1-inch grid lines. Wow, it's just got all over the place. All right, so this is my grid. I'm going to rename that grid. Hopefully that you can rename 1,000 times. It's going to change every time you change something. It does not stay named in Design Space. But you need to check that your grid is in pen, and now it is, and then that's in basic, and I haven't attached them, and that was what my problem was. So now I will attach them, rename that, see, rename it again, grid, and then open that up, and that's on pen and that's on basic. Very good. I'm just going to slide that over the top and underneath, and you're finished. All right, so that's all I got for you with this design. Let's hope you muddled your way through that like I did. So bye for now, and let me know in the comments if you want to see any further designs. They're pretty easy once you know that you've just got to cover that square. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.